4 days off from basketball, at least NBA basketball. We don't like it. So we thought we'd get ahead of the game with a little bit of the finals previews, and we hope you guys wanna do that with us. So we're starting this at 6:20 PM Eastern Time, roughly. JJ, are you like me and we're, kinda winging it? We're looking at the board with the people for the first time, or have you gotten a chance to look through this already?
I have not had a chance to look. I just been locked in on WNBA all day, just trying to go through notes, try to make little cheat sheets, and now I'm going through post game press conferences after this. Get some
There
quotes.
there we go. So you guys are gonna be looking through this for the first time just like we will. Um, so, yep, let's get this thing started. I need to figure out how to get the link to share to Twitter as well. But for the people in the chat that are already in here, how are we feeling? Because some people are upset by this series. I'm kind of excited. Am I wrong for that? Am I just like getting ahead of myself, or should I
No,
be
I
excited?
think you're seeing a really good defense versus a really good offense.
Exactly. Um, I really can't figure out how to make this thing go
I
live
think
on
it's just
Twitter.
because of small market teams, people aren't excited for whatever reason.
Bro, I saw somebody when I made a Twitter post for those who missed it saying like, why do people care about big market versus small market? If the team you're supporting isn't in there, what does it matter? And somebody had the audacity to comment, I don't want to watch bums. Why would I want to watch Lou Dort chuck up 12 threes a game? And it's like, bro,
But how is he a bum?
The MVP of the season is Lou Dort's teammate. Why are we talking about Lou Dort?
Yeah,
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it at all.
that was a horrible
It's an interesting take
response.
to say the least. Um, but yeah, dude, I don't get it. I think we should all be excited regardless. All right,
A
I can't
team that
figure out how
was
to get live.
breaking records and stuff like that, elite defense and offense. You're talking about Lou Dort chucking up threes.
Isn't
That's
this
what you took
the
away from this season.
isn't this the most or the number one rated offense and number one rated defense in the NBA?
I
Or am
think
I making
so.
that up? I could be wrong. So somebody correct me
There
if I'm
should
wrong
be
there.
top three in every category for sure for those two.
Okay. All right, I think I gotta
The Cavs
redo it.
may have number one for offense in the regular season.
I think it came down towards the end of the season, but I could be wrong. All right, I gotta do the Twitter one again. So while that's going on, JG, you want to start sharing your screen? They play each other twice this season, right? It wasn't a surprise NBA Cup or anything like that in there.
Yeah, they played each other twice, and Chet missed both games. So let me set
Ooh,
this up real quick.
interesting wrinkle.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through the first one on December 26th. Let me start sharing.
Perfect.
Good call on Siakam last game. Yeah, that was a great call by Dr. Profit.
I mean, I felt like it was a pretty simple one. Like there's a lot sharper ones I've had where I'm like, oh, because they're doing this, we should do this. And for that one, I was like, hey, there's nobody else. It's either him or they lose,
Let
and
me
they're
zoom in
smart
real
enough to
quick.
figure that out as well.
All right, so let's just go game charts real quick. Ted. All right, so I think so it was 120, 114. Sort of just took off
How
at the
far
end.
ago were these games?
So this one was December. The other one was it March?
So December was when
Yeah, March
that was when
29th.
the Pacers were still bad, right? Bad
Yeah.
being relative. Obviously, they were 10 and 15 through the first 25 games, and then kind of went crazy towards the end.
Nope. So I mean, right after that, I mean, Indy took the edge slightly in fast break points, but that doesn't really matter. Points
Honestly,
in the paint.
I'm very interested
Interesting.
in the turnovers for each team.
Yeah, 3 to 11.
Damn, they only had 3 turnovers. That's fucking insane. But 11 turnovers is not a lot.
No, but
Like if
3 is ridiculously low.
That's ridiculous. But I'm more concerned about the Indiana not concerned, but like curious about the Indiana offense because that's where it gets interesting for me at least.
Yeah. Um,
I think I know what I need to do.
Here's the shot zones.
Here we go. I figured out how to go live on Twitter as well. You'd think I would have it figured out by now.
You would think. So Pacers love that right corner. 7-10.
7. That's the other thing. Neesmith's ankle. Are we just going to assume it's fine by now?
It'll heal some, but I mean, a sprain's gonna be a sprain. It's not gonna fully heal until you let it heal.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, it's
He honestly
out of
didn't
my
look that
experience.
bad. I
No,
think part of it was Nemhard also was just having a great game.
yeah,
Like I think that was another pretty big part of it. All right, we got the link, and we're sending it out. So we'll have a lot more friends in here very soon.
we'll see if they're friends.
Well, the Twitter comments won't come through playback though. Those will be
Yeah,
on Twitter. But for anybody watching on the other platforms, definitely go come here on playback. It's where the chat's going to be the most effective and where you get the most perks. Obviously, once we get into making parlays and stuff, we like to do polls. So this gives you a chance to vote on those polls if you haven't already. So highly recommend it. But we got the playback link up there too. So anybody who has playback will be able to come through there as well. And it's sent out everywhere. So sorry, I was sidetracked a little bit with all that. Let's get into all this. So holy shit, OKC is very green. That is insane.
yeah.
And this is the December 26th game.
Mm-hmm.
What were the minutes looking like? What was the rotations?
Let me just go through that. So
Starting 5, Hartenstein, Case and Wallace started, Shea, J-Dub, Dort. Case
and
played 30,
then
damn.
Pacers.
So that was when Mathurin was starting. So Neesmith
Yeah.
wasn't even in this one.
Nope.
Which is going to be a big
Or
difference.
Aaron Neesmith.
Because you have to think he's getting the Shea matchup.
Yeah.
Do we think they actually? So I'm trying to think about the matchups. Hallie's probably going to guard Lou Dort. Miles Turner on Isaiah Hartenstein. Siakam on Chet. Which I actually do like that matchup for Siakam defensively. Or more than I should, at least. Then that leaves Neesmith and Nemhard for J-Dub and Shea. You might have to put Neesmith on J-Dub. You might not have a choice.
I think you can live with that.
And then Nemhard on Shea. Because you can't put Nemhard on J-Dub, can you? Are you willing to do that?
So you're thinking Nemhard on Shea or J-Dub, and then vice versa with Neesmith?
Yeah.
It's going to be one of those two.
Yep.
I think you're gonna have to live with Nemhard on J-Dub.
J-Dub will use his size, though. If you give it to him.
But Nemhard can still be pesky.
Let's check the March 29th game. Were they both active? Neesmith was active in that game. Only played 22 minutes. 4 personal fouls, so maybe he was in foul trouble, but so did Nemhard. I'll check how they matched up on Shea. So Nemhard was the Shea matchup. Nemhard played him pretty well. 11 of his team's 51 points. Neesmith didn't defend him all that much at all. So who did Aaron Neesmith defend? Yeah, Neesmith on J-Dub.
In the March game?
Yeah. So obviously no Chet changes a little bit, but I don't think it changes those two. I think those two are going to be on J-Dub and Shea either way.
Yeah.
I know me and you talked about this a little bit a couple weeks before the playoffs started when we were talking about potential Cavs versus OKC matchup. If we're talking Pacers now, when it comes to Isaiah Hartenstein, is he playing 28 minutes or is he down to 20 again?
I think he's gonna be down to 20, especially when you have Chet.
Yeah, because the Pacers can go 5 out. They
Yeah.
want to do that, and I also
E-
don't know.
Even in this game, the March game, he only played 14 minutes.
Let's put it this way: in what scenario, not just this game, just in general, where does Hartenstein become a big net positive for the Thunder? When they need rebounding, I think is a big one.
Yeah.
When they need to operate inside out with handoffs and stuff like that, and I think that's where Hartenstein can provide some value in this matchup. And then I'd say the third one is just before coming into the series, I would have said defensively, but they've been using Chet as the low man so much that I don't know that that's that big of a plus. It's just going to be tough when there's probably going to be more half court matchups in this game than they're used to because Indiana does play so clean.
Yeah.
Like I can check right now, but I'm thinking off the top of my head, surely Indiana has one of the highest assist to turnover ratios in the NBA.
I would think so.
Teams,
Who's the iHeart Whisperer?
Austin.
Austin. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Pacers in the playoffs they're the highest at 2.21, and then in the regular season, let's do post All-Star break, they were the second highest, only to the Oklahoma City Thunder, which makes sense. They force more turnovers, but 2.33 assist to turnover ratio. And the reason I say that is the Thunder, they're such a big part of their offense is through forcing turnovers. So if you're now playing the Pacers, who, while they're both fast paced, the Pacers' fast pace is much more intentional. Like they want to, off a made basket, off a missed basket, they want to get it and go.
Yeah.
For the OKC, it is predominantly forcing turnovers and getting out in transition. So I think that's if this doesn't, if this game actually goes the distance or this series, it's going to be because the Pacers are cleaning up the ball and the Thunder are trying to look for other avenues they're not used to in terms of dominating the scoring. Somebody said, "Can y'all look at the game total?" Yes. Let me pull up what some of the odds are right now. The game total is 230.5. I gotta say, I lean the under mainly for the reasons I just mentioned because OKC is very good at getting back in transition as well. So I think that's going to hurt the Pacers trying to play fast.
Yeah.
I think that both these offenses are going to need a couple games to actually figure out what they're up against and figure out what's working.
Let's see, let me look at the matchups.
Only 4 games since 2017 have gone over 230 in the finals. That would be a number I'd refrain for. Like, if that's your reasoning, I probably wouldn't because you won't find a lot of finals matchups that have the pace that both of these teams have.
And the pace over the years have gone up drastically, so that also makes it a little tough.
Like, if we go look at each of the matchups, 4 years ago is what? Boston, Golden State. I mean, Boston in drop coverage, they try and do everything they can to keep you away from the rim. And Golden State was making life hell for Tatum, so they had to figure some things out there. Um, who was the year after that? Screw it, I'll look it up just to make sure we don't make any mistakes. The year after that, no, so that was 2022. 2023 was Nuggets Heat. Again, two predominantly half court teams. Neither of them operate much in transition and pace up spots. And last year, Boston and Dallas. Dallas with Luka, they want to play him as many minutes as possible. His conditioning obviously isn't crazy elite, so you want that game slowed down. And the Celtics want to space 5 out and operate that way as well. I'm trying to look just in the last 10 years. There's not really, maybe the Bucks and Suns are probably the closest I think you can say in terms of two teams that want to get out and run, but even then, I don't think they come close to this. So yeah, I'd refrain from using those stats. But I'm just thinking more from a gameplay standpoint how difficult it's going to be for both these teams. I think if you looked at OKC versus not Nuggets, you could look at OKC versus Memphis because Memphis was another fast-paced team that wanted to get out and run, kind of in the same way the Pacers did. In the 4 games, 125, 104, so that was under. 120 to 103, that was under. 125 to 112, that did go over, and 130 to 106. But the key thing with all 4 of these games is Memphis scored 120 in each of these games. And oh, hold on, I'm looking at the last 4 regular season games. Let me fix that for you guys real quick. Hold on, and I can share my screen as well. Let me do that so you guys can see it with me. JJ, I'm kicking you off the screen share.
Go ahead. I guess I'll allow it.
All right, so game 4 went over by 2 points. Game 3 stayed under by a little bit. Game 2 stayed under by a lot. And game 1 went under by a lot. I don't think it's a coincidence that this was probably the closest game that didn't go. Obviously, game 4 went over, but for this one, that was the comeback game, right? That was game 3, not game 2, where Ja got hurt at half.
I think so.
I can check here real quick. Yeah, they were up by 26 at half.
Yeah.
Do we think the Pacers offense is better than, or Pacers defense better than Memphis Grizzlies defense? Absolutely. So I think that nicks a couple off the OKC from here. Now their offense is a little bit better, which is where we can start talking because we're at Lou Dort's probably defending Shea. Or not Shea, Hallie.
Yeah. I think we can assume that for the moment.
We can check these matchups again.
He was.
That's going to be a problem for Hallie. As you can see, only 2 field goal attempts when he was matched up by Lou Dort. Not exactly the matchup he wants. So we go to Siakam. He's going to be defended by Chet. I don't think Siakam's going to do well with that matchup. How do you see that one playing out?
I mean, it's going to have to be a lot of ball movement. I think he's got to find a way to get everybody out. There's no way you can lean on just one person here. I don't think Siakam's going to have enough to step up like that.
I mean, we've seen it with the Thunder through every series, not even just this year, but last year too. They're forcing your corner shooters to beat you. Naz Reid, PJ Washington last year. Like those are the guys that they're forcing you to beat. And if Neesmith was 100% healthy, I'd say that's actually a big problem for them. Now, I think he's healthy enough for it to like keep things close and keep it a game. And just depending on how Neesmith feels is going to make a big difference here. But when you have Neesmith, Obi Toppin, Nemhard, and those guys, Miles Turner as your weak side shooters that you're forcing the ball to, it's kind of what the Pacers want. Like we talk about Halliburton and Siakam as like the risers, the leaders of the team. I truly believe if it was up to the Pacers, they just have everybody take 10 shots equally across the roster and see what happens.
Yeah. One thing for the Pacers, get that magnet ball going.
But they're going to be left wide open, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Got to get it going. Like, this is where it's really going to count. This is where it matters the most.
I want to see something. I want to look at how OKC did against the other like top 10 teams in assist to turnover ratio. So let's see Celtics. This is since the since the All-Star break. So Celtics, they won by 6. It was a good game. We can look at some of the team stats. Celtics only had 13 turnovers. Like that's a winnable. If you're getting less than, what do you say, 15 turnovers against the Thunder, I'm almost calling that a win. Like you're in a great position to win that game.
Yeah. Because they're going to jump passing lanes. They're going to get that late help sent to you. They're gonna make you real uncomfortable.
Now that I will say the Timberwolves were fourth on this list. However, I think the Timberwolves half court offense is significantly worse. Two, their transition defense is atrocious. At
Yeah.
least it was in that series. Like they looked like they didn't even want to think about playing defense in transition. We can check Chicago Bulls, which is an interesting one if they did cause them problems. Let's see. No, they wiped the floor with them. Who did everybody play in this game for the Bulls? Yeah. So I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened there, but yeah. How many turnovers do they have? 14. That's not horrible though. Oh no, they had 19. I was looking at the wrong side. Yeah, that'll do it. Who else? Spurs, Warriors. I gotta say these are not the teams I expected to be at the top of this list. Let's check on the season. Nuggets, Cavs. The Nuggets, obviously, that caused them problems. We took them to 7 games. The Cavs in the game where Mobley wasn't injured. Or no, not the game where Mobley was. Somebody. I know the Thunder had some of their injuries in the blowout win. Somebody on the Cavs was injured, right? Sorry, Jared Allen didn't play. Oh no, he did. Okay, so that was just a manhandling.
That
What
was a
up,
smooth
Rob?
entrance sound you have from EDP.
I
Perfect
do need to
timing.
get a soundboard, but no, that was just I was getting a call. How we doing though?
Doing good, bro. I'm excited to talk. I haven't thought about this game at all, but it's excited to talk about like some new matchups.
Yeah, this is
We're
the
on the same page here.
yep. This is our fresh look at the board. This is our first time looking through it. But yeah, I mean, if I had to guess, if I were to put my stamp on it right now, I feel like the easy answer is OKC in 6, but I almost want to say OKC in 7.
In 7,
I think this Pacers team, with how clean they play offensively,
mm.
I think OKC is going to have to beat them in the half court, and I think they will. But I don't think it's going to be as easy as it has been throughout the playoffs for them, or in the Minnesota Memphis series, because the Nuggets didn't turn the ball over that much either, and we saw that series go to 7.
Did they do
Yeah.
anything funky with the matchup with Hardenstein, Chet versus Miles Turner and Pascal?
Chet didn't play either one.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to judge.
But from what it looks like Nemhard guards Shea, Neesmith guards Jalen
Jalen
Williams.
Williams. Okay.
So that's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, Shea's going to be able to shoot over Nemhard, but I
Yeah,
don't know if he's going to be able to get by him that easily. And
In the
that's where
March
Nemhard kind of
game,
excels.
it looks like the Pacers are really gonna try and like spread out the floor and space it well just along the perimeter.
mm.
And you know the way OKC plays, they're gonna have at least one just sagging in the paint just for help.
For sure.
And it's always going to be Chet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has been a low man every series.
So I guess that brings up the next question: is if Chet's going to be the low man, they're probably not going to put him on Siakam. They're probably going to put him on Neesmith
Yeah,
defensively.
yeah, that way he can
Yeah.
side off.
Neesmith should have some good corner 3 looks.
So then who, J-Dub on?
Siakam.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably that makes sense to me.
I want to see these Shea shot attempts against Nemhard as his main defender.
He's
He's bigger than him,
yeah.
but we knew that already.
That shit doesn't look like he's scared of anyone. The thing is, they don't have anyone in the paint that like is scary for SGA. Like SGA should be able to.
Well, I think the question for Shea comes more about beating Nemhard to his spot. I think he'll be able to shoot over him pretty easily. I'm not worried about him shooting over him,
Mm-mm.
but Nemhard's going to be pretty good at staying in front of him.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this is gonna be an SGA show to start. And although Nemhart's a good defender, I feel like Nemhart can't guard him every possession for the full series. Even Neesmith can't. I don't think can guard him every possession. So I see them eventually having a trap SGA. I think.
I mean, they weren't really doing it with Donovan Mitchell or Brunson at any point. Obviously, they won those series, but
yeah.
That's kind of how they played their defense the last 2 years too. Like that's just
yeah.
that's just how they like to play defense.
All right,
I
Nemhard, we got a. What is this defense? All right, I will say, why is McConnell all the way up here?
I feel like you know the answer.
I mean,
They're
I know
not
it's
gonna help
Isaiah Joe,
regardless.
but bro, this is no wonder he beat him to the spot, bro. What the hell is? This is basically playing 1v1 with the entire court and unlimited dribbles in open gym.
That's what it looks like they wanted to do.
That
A
is the
lot of
Pacers
space.
defense.
That's a lot of space, and it looks like they wanted him to go to get that ISO.
I will say for the Thunder, I like this idea of Shea getting it in a post up against Nemhard if he's going to have
Yeah.
that size advantage. I feel like that's not something we see from Shea a lot.
We're gonna see a lot of Shea middies and step backs probably.
Yeah.
Shea has let his teammates, do their thing and have a role. This could easily be a SGA show until they get tired of him.
I think game 1 for sure it is gonna be a Shea game.
Yeah.
I mean, his line's at 33.5. I think the books know that too.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus, bro. Oh my goodness. 33.
33.5.
I
But
think
like,
that was
damn,
that
his
was his
assist-
line going into last game too
Goodness.
for the conference final.
I thought it was in like the 31.5. I didn't realize it was that high.
At least like the last game of the series.
Maybe.
Just because his volume's ridiculous right now.
I want to see the Tyrese versus Dort shots too. Like, how are they even coming? This isn't even really like in an open set. So I'm calling that one kind of bullshit.
Just looking at these
There we
lines,
go.
has Jalen Williams rebounds always been at like 6'5"? I feel
No,
like
that's a bit high.
yeah, his
Actually, in the playoffs, I think it's been high.
his rebound line's pretty high. They might know something.
Jay Will's at 5.5.
Oh, juiced over. Okay.
Yeah,
Not 6.5. Okay.
minus 130 on the over. I think if we could find, is that SpongeBob?
I was just about to say that.
You know it, man. You know it.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm
I
trying to
wish
get
we
my
could
son
get.
to watch it so I can watch it with him.
Your son doesn't like it?
Nah, dude, he likes the kid shit. I'm trying to watch the grown kid shit.
Is SpongeBob done? I feel like that was a thing.
Yeah,
recently.
nah, it's not like
Did they-
Aaron. You just gotta find the episode.
That's funny. Dude, I wish we could find some unders on some of the OKC players for threes that were that's playable.
I feel like we could we see a small ball Thunder lineup with Chet
I-
at the 5?
We were talking about that right before you joined about Hartenstein potentially being played off the court.
Yeah.
I think that's going to have to happen sometime soon. Not necessarily played off, but like
Lower minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, if we're talking about there being more half court offense than usual, he might be useful there. Because Dort's going to be chasing over screens anyway, so it's not like he's going to be a defensive issue and drop.
The thing is, on the pick and roll, is Miles Turner. If it's small ball and Chet's playing a decent amount of minutes, Miles Turner's not stepping out on Chet on like a pick and pop. So that
I don't think Miles Turner's helping to begin with, though.
Yeah, I don't at all.
What's Shea first quarter? Lord help me if they give a 9.5 line again.
I could low key.
It is 9.5. ESPN.
All right.
365.
Oh my God, it's.
If you want minus
Andrew
152, it's 8.5.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I like a Chet threes maybe too.
But you're telling me Shea has a 33.5 line, and his first quarter points is 9.5. I don't know how I can see that. He's played the full first, outside of those 3 random Denver games. He's played the full first quarter in every game. What is, let's see, Shea first quarter versus Pacers log. Oh, only 9 and 6 is interesting. The one game he got 9, he shot 2 of 6 and missed a free throw. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Another one, he shot 2 of 8. Interesting. All right. So Neesmith, obviously we like him, but we have the injury issue. What else are we seeing from the Pacers side? If we're attacking the OKC defense that we know loves to swarm the ball, Chet's going to be the low man, likely defending Neesmith, and Dort's going to be chasing over screens onto Halliburton.
If we see Isaiah Hartenstein getting less minutes, in those 9 minutes, who's going to be defending Miles Turner?
Like the Obi Toppins and, well, actually, Jarius Walker, they said, is going to miss a couple games. But I think like Thomas Bryant's probably going to get some run in the non-Miles Turner minutes, so it'll probably be him.
No, like who's going
Other
to
way around.
defend Miles Turner? Yeah.
Chet probably guards Miles Turner, and Jalen Williams guards Siakam. Where's SGA on the court? Who's SGA guarding? It might be him rebounding spot.
Probably Nembhard, if I had to guess.
Aren't they like Canadian teammates too? Him and Nembhard. Yeah.
I think you're right. Yeah. Shea was defending Nembhard the most last game. If you want to check who is defending Turner, obviously it's different because there was no Chet. But yeah, Kenrich Williams, Jalen Williams is doing a little bit. Case, I think it's going to be like whoever the strongest small ball guy is. That's not Case and Wall. Like it'll be like I think they'll be fine.
I don't know if they put SGA on him because okay. Maybe not initially because that starting lineup is pretty set. Like you gotta account for Miles Turner, Siakam, Neesmith in the corner. But like when the rotations start happening, OKC has a lot of great wing players who can play defense, and I don't think if Nembhard's they're gonna shut Hallie down in my opinion and try to, and Nembhard's gonna be running that offense secondarily, and they don't put SGA on whoever's running that offense mainly. Usually he's off ball.
So are you saying they put him on Neesmith?
I think so.
So then who's Chet on? If you're gonna have to leave somebody open, most likely in the corner, to have Chet as the low man, who's Chet gonna be on?
I would say maybe SGA's on Neesmith. Might be his rebounds. You'd run Chet on Siakam and Hartenstein on Turner. And even if later on in the game, if Hartenstein losing minutes, if Chet's in, Chet's got to play the 5. He probably guards Miles Turner. Jalen Williams would guard Siakam, and that would still leave SGA as like the backside 3 guarding Neesmith because I don't think they want him using his energy guarding Nembhard, especially if they're shutting down Halliburton.
So you're fine with Shea being the low man and Chet being dragged out?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, whether it's Hartenstein on Miles Turner, Chet on Siakam, and SGA guarding Neesmith, or whether it's Chet at the 5 guarding Miles Turner, Jalen Williams guarding Siakam, SGA on Neesmith in the corner. I think SGA might be that weak side defender.
Is there any offense that we think is similar to the Pacers that we can look at?
For the stretch 5?
We can honestly look at the Memphis series. Because Jaren Jackson, Siakam, no, because
you could even look at
doesn't stretch it. Never mind. That doesn't work. You could look
at the Minnesota minutes when Rudy was off the court.
We could. But the issue with that one is Hartenstein wasn't getting big minutes in that series.
I think you need a stretch 5 plus a team with pace.
I'm saying I feel like minutes with Naz Reid and Julius Randle minutes together would be similar to like a Siakam and Miles Turner. I think. I would think.
Let's check something because I think the reason that I brought that up as an issue is since Naz was coming off the bench, I don't know that we saw that starting 5 against a rotation that Hartenstein was supposed to be in.
Well, that last game they played in March, Chet wasn't in. You said right, but Hardenstein did play.
So we could look at start of the second quarters, but Shea wasn't playing those minutes.
Let me go look at this last. Hold on. Let me go look at some tape too while we're doing this. We're gonna figure this out, boys.
Let's check out. This is a blowout. I don't want to look at this. Nas Reed, where are you? So normal rotation. He did close in this game, so maybe we can look at that. Hardenstein didn't close the fourth quarter though. So we can look at the start of this quarter where they have J-Dub, Hardenstein, Case and Wallace, Caruso, and Wiggins, but I don't like looking at how they set up defensively with that. I don't think that's comparable.
Let me look at this.
I'm trying to think if there's any other team as well. We can look at. Think of some stretch fives off the top of your head.
I mean, I feel like even the Lakers series. I mean, they were playing stretch five pretty much, and like Jackson Hayes wasn't getting run. So
OKC didn't play him though.
OKC played the Lake. Well, they played like end of the season type.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let's see if everybody was healthy.
I think they were, at least for the first matchup.
Lakers were healthy. Yeah, we can go look at that. Well, we have to check what the rotations were to see if they actually did go small ball or not.
They did, because Jackson Hayes only played 13 minutes.
All right, let's do it then. So Hayes, whoa, which game are you looking at that he played 13 minutes? Oh, yeah, bro. He played 27 minutes in the April 8th game. Let's check the other one.
12-26. Hardenstein, Williams, Dort.
All right, so April 6th. Let's pull that film, or let's pull up those matchup statistics. April, Oklahoma. Here we go. I'll go back to sharing my screen as well. Come on now. The NBA.com just stop working for either of you guys?
I'm on it right now.
I'm not on it right now.
It's working for me.
Page you're looking for is suddenly unavailable. All right, never mind. We're back. All right, so they had Shea on Austin Reeves and Dorian Finney-Smith, a bit of a mix. They had Chet on Jared Vanderbilt and Jackson Hayes. So you can help.
This one was the April 6th game, right?
Yeah. You can help.
Because I looked at the April 8th, and that one's the one where Rui did not play, it looked like.
Yeah, so Hayes played 27 minutes in that one, though.
Yeah. So you don't want to look at that one.
No. But in the April 6th game, Chet was on Jared Vanderbilt and Jackson Hayes. You can leave Jared Vanderbilt open. I don't think that works. I think if Obi Toppin's in, you can put Chet on him and put Shea on Nesmith. So let's see. The Jackson Hayes minutes. Jackson Hayes pretty much didn't play the second half. Who did Hardenstein match up with then if Hayes hardly played? He was on Rui. Man, this is an interesting to put Hardenstein on Rui and Chet on Vanderbilt. I guess it made sense. You can help off both of them.
How many minutes did Vanderbilt get?
15 minutes. Let's go back to this then. Chet with both on. He defended the center. So when you have to assume when the starters are out, Chet was on Hayes, and a Hartenstein was on Rui, from the looks of it. Then when Vanderbilt came on, he guarded Vanderbilt, and Hartenstein was on. They were both on Vanderbilt a shit ton. Starting to think that we could have found a better example than the Lakers. Not the Clippers, not the Rockets. Man, what happened to the good old stretch five? We have Horford and Brook Lopez mentioned the chat. I think we could check Celtics, but I don't think everybody was healthy whenever they played. Yeah, J-Dub wasn't in this one. I think we're gonna have to just think outside the box ourselves, personally. But I think you're right. If Shea's playing the low man, his rebounds suddenly become very high value.
I think he has a chance to do it. I'm leaning he has a chance to do it whether adjustments come or not, like whether Hartenstein is ran off the court or not.
If Hartenstein's getting played off the court, I think it's so they can stay up, like they can swarm a little bit more. Like he's getting replaced by Caruso, and I don't think Caruso's hurting Shea's rebounding chances.
He's not.
Or
I feel like
Caruso's not kicking him off of Aaron Nesmith, so I don't think it changed anything.
Yeah, no, I just feel like at all times, bro, for the Thunder, you have 4 great defenders, and you can serve Shea as much as you can, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I think you can live with Shea guarding them hard. I think the other issue we have to think about, and this is the other reason I think they're going to have Shea on Nemhard. You have to avoid the cross matching and transition, and the best way to do that is just to have your guy defend the same guy that was defending you. Because that's where Pacers want to kill you, is they want to get those cross matches early.
Mm-hmm.
That's if Siakam's going to have a role in the series, that's probably where it would be. Because if you don't have Chet on him,
how do the Pacers win this? Like what has to happen?
Don't turn the ball over
and make your threes,
which we both know that they can do.
So what are you saying?
I think they have a better chance than people think. I think the gap is too big to say that they match up well against OKC and they'll win. But in terms of teams that we expect to lose that have the realest chance of winning coming out of the East, I think the Pacers are about as good as it gets.
And the Pacers have one of the best coaches in the last decade.
Yeah. If anybody's going to figure out how to cause problems for an opposing star, it's going to be Rick Carlisle.
Both these teams have great coaches.
Yeah. Do we think both teams still run 10 deep is the question to me.
First 2 games, probably.
Who gets cut out when it goes down to 8?
The Isaiah Joes of the world, the
Ben Shepherd.
Yeah.
He's obsessed with Ben Shepherd, though.
Pacers probably get behind him.
He's obsessed with Ben Shepherd.
I think it's a series by series matchup. Depend on who they got.
I think Obi, McConnell, and Mathurin all play for.
Then again, Ben Shepherd might get minutes for the first couple games. It depends on when and if Jarris Walker comes back.
All right, Bruno says hi, guys. Come here. He'll get off in a second. He doesn't like being up here too long. Do we think Thomas Bryant gets run?
Yeah.
Depends if we see that. Maybe.
That puts us at 9. If we say Obi, Mathurin, and McConnell are getting in for sure, that's 8. With Thomas Bryant, that's 9. For the Thunder, we're down to... Obviously, we're not including Chet, what's currently on the screen. Chet, Caruso, Case, and Wallace. We're already at 8.
Kenrich.
You think we'll see some Kenrich, or you think he's getting cut out?
I think we'll see him.
Isaiah Joe, you think he's cut out?
Yeah.
I think you can cut Kenrich out, personally. I think the only way they're
I think
using
he fits
Kenrich,
well with the pace here.
I mean, whose minutes does he take? Like, who does outside of Hartenstein? Who does he fit better over for the pace?
I mean, I was gonna say Hartenstein.
But
He's
yeah,
gonna cut into Hartenstein's minutes.
I guess in my mind, if I'm saying Hartenstein's getting played off the court, it's because they're going small. So Caruso and Kaysen are both just getting 30 minutes instead of Kenrich getting. What's
But that's the
Hartenstein?
versatility with Kenrich. You can still play him along the perimeter, like as a defender. You can still use him as like a switch defender.
Yeah, Hardenstein's lines are 7.5 and 7.0 for points and rebounds. Assists are 1.5 minus 190, 2.5 plus 135. Those lines are probably where they should be, honestly. If we go look at usage, we can do that as well. Miles Turner led the team in usage percentage. That's actually crazy. Go look at player tracking. Bro, the Pacers are annoying because nobody ever has real rebound chances. Everybody's just between 5 and 10 every single game.
They're
Yeah.
the annoying team to try to bet on.
Shea, though, 14 rebound chances. There you go.
SJ is getting him rebound. It's either it's either SJ or Jalen Williams, I think.
I think J-Dub's going to have to. I guess we said
Like I
J-Dub.
said, Brett. No, you were right. You were thinking. I think that J Dub's gonna have a bigger defensive assignment. I think SJ has the lesser defensive assignment all series. Like Jalen Williams got to guard someone.
He's going to have to guard Siakam.
Yeah, or somebody out there. SJ, I feel like them rebounds. I saw people spamming his under RA too, but I like his rebounds. I mean, I like him to score, not pass a lot, but like I like his rebounds to finish for like 6 or 7. So that RA is already.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing. I would take his rebounds under, but I think that's already been priced in.
Yeah.
And his assists under, sorry, and I think he has a good chance to go over that line off of the rebounds, though.
Yeah.
Plus 100 for threes is interesting. For 2 threes for Shea is interesting, though, I will say.
I mean, and I know we haven't seen it like with Chet, but like SJ has covered his rebounds in 4 straight versus the Pacers twice this year. It wasn't with the same lineup, but I'm just saying he has cleared that.
Halliburton was 4 for 9 from deep in this game. I was checking to see if the under 2.5 threes is playable, but if that's the case, then I don't really want to deal with that. Because, I mean, they're just going to keep chasing him off the line like they did Ant and like they did Jamal Murray and like they did, I guess they didn't chase John Moran off the line. They were kind of daring him to shoot. I don't think there's going to be a lot of threes in this matchup, personally.
I don't think you need a lot of volume. I just think you need quality looks.
I think that's what we'll get.
How do the Pacers beat the Thunder pressure? Like, so they're gonna try to run Hallie off the line. Is it someone like sitting in the middle of the paint that he passes to, like a Hardenstein role for SGA if he's getting trapped? Like he dumps it to Miles Turner in the paint, and then Miles Turner either makes a play. Because I think Cavs ran zone for a minute, and Miles Turner was getting looks right there in like the not restricted area, but like right there top of the key. And he had a couple times where he just turned around and shot, or he turned around and dished it if people were sinking in the lane.
It probably means, depending on whoever SJ is matched up with, use him as the screener. Try and force a switch.
They don't really matchup hunt, though. The Pacers don't.
No, but it's an option.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I could see putting Siakam in the pick and roll because Siakam was a better ball handler. If he gets to, like, if Halliburton has to dump it to Siakam and Siakam's got to make a play. What about like a Siakam assist?
Siakam's tough because if they didn't use him as a screener that much last series when it made complete sense to do so, I kind of lose trust that they're going to do it in this series. Like, I was baffled that they didn't use him as a screener more against Cat.
I think the last 2 games we were talking about his assists.
It's because I didn't pay attention to it too much in Game 6, but in Game 5, all his assists came facilitating out of the non-Hallie lineup because they just kept sending extra attention at Siakam, which the Thunder will do, but it just becomes a question of how many non-Hallie minutes are they going to have.
Yeah.
And if we were talking about 2.5 assists, I'd say it's a conversation. Asking for 4 assists, I think.
Siakam assists is at 2.5, like a hella juice.
Yeah, but I don't know that I want to play that much juice. I think at that point you just have to contemplate RA. Which I will say I do kind of like RA because the way I view it, if you're not guarding Shea, you're in rebounding position.
Bro, his RA is at 8.5.
8.5 where? I see 9.5.
I mean, I'm just trying one of these tools I use. It says it's at 8.5. I can't find his lines yet.
I'm looking at
8.5 on FanDuel, minus 140.
they have alt lines on FanDuel, yeah, but minus 160. But 9.5 is plus 110 on ESPN is the best line. I think it's worth a stab. This season, hold on. He had 9 rebounds, 1 assist, and 10 rebounds, 3 assists. Obviously, no Chet in either of those games, but if we're talking under the assumption that Chet doesn't defend him, do we really care?
Siakam already could be smooth.
At plus 110, I think I like that. What else? Casey Wallace is at 5.5 RA again. Well, do we go ahead and take the under again? What are we doing there? Even in 30 minutes, 8 rebound chances, 4 of them offensive and 24 passes made that was as a starter without Chet. You have to assume that comes down to like 5 or 6 and 18 if Chet's playing. That was with Hardenstein getting played off too. Hardenstein only had 14 minutes in that series or in that game. I think you can go back to it.
I think so.
Isaiah Joe has a 1.5 RA line. Are we stabbing at that?
If anything, you take a game 1 for sure. I feel like that rotation gets tighter down the road.
You're saying take the over or take the under?
Or no, I'm saying whatever you want to do. Play with it now. Don't play with it later.
Yeah. What else? Kenrich Williams. If we could do a Kenrich Williams and Isaiah Hardenstein correlation lay. I would be open to that, but it's only on Bet365 right now. And Shea's down to 12.5. I know everybody took the under at 13.5. What else can we talk about? I think that's it for the RA props.
I think I like Siakam assist, bro.
I think I'm going to be running RA
on the road. On the road in the playoffs, he hasn't missed his 3. 5, 3, 6, 5, 4, 4, 4 in the last 7 road playoff games this season.
I didn't realize
if they get the
rebounds
ball
was
at
only
Hallie,
5.5.
Yeah, the RA too. Yeah, both of them. Both of them. I like that look.
I'm trying to see what percentage of each player's rebounds comes from threes. That's the other thing that we can check in the playoffs. Let's check post All-Star break first.
You said Thunder got to knock down 3, or Pacers got to knock down 3s, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
If they don't, then whoever gets a lot of rebounds off the 3s for the Thunder. Hopefully that's SGA, so it keeps aligning for us.
And I think that's the only way that he's going to be able to avoid Lou Dort is by grabbing the rebound and going. Guess the Thunder don't take that as many threes as I thought, though. Case and Wallace. What about Case and Wallace? Let's see.
Is there a way Miles Turner loses minutes in this series?
If he just keeps playing like shit, like he was in the Knicks series.
Like the Thunder play, I don't know.
Like there was one game in the Knicks series where he just kept dropping every pass that was made to him. If he does that more than twice in the series, he shouldn't come back on the court for that game. That's how you lose to the Thunder.
Especially if somehow Hartenstein's gone and they don't need as much size.
Exactly. I mean that's usually their kind of X factor. The thing that they can help them beat any team is that at any given moment you don't need to take Miles Turner off for small ball.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? We got somebody on YouTube. I don't know how long ago they commented this. I missed it. Indiana's bench is shooting 50%. They need that again, or they're getting done in 4 games. I mean, yeah, it's going to be hitting your open shots specifically and not turning the ball over. That's what's it's going to have to be. Because outside of Shea hitting his shots over Nembhard, what's their half court advantage?
You said outside of what?
Outside of Shea being able to shoot over Nembhard.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like we're going to act like Nembhard's a bad on-ball defender. What's the advantage for OKC in the half-court offense?
It's a good matchup, bro, because if they got Nembhard on SGA and he, either living or dying by that, Neesmith's going to be on Jalen Williams, so that's going to slow him down.
He's not going to be able to bully him.
Yeah, and then you've got Chet and Hartenstein, but Hartenstein's not, a big factor on offense unless she's getting some floaters, and Siakam should give Chet a hard time. So I can see why you say, they match up pretty nicely. There's not like a huge advantage that jumps off the page to me other than SJ just getting it done.
Yeah, and I don't really care about Lou Dort with knowing how the Pacers' defense is.
Yeah.
What are Dort's lines? Can we take the under on him? 9.5 minus 115. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all.
I don't either.
I know he's at home. I know that's going to scare people. But let's look at it this way. Lou Dort in the playoffs. He only went over this game once versus Minnesota. And as we know, Minnesota is not normally a team that sends blitz help. Denver sent a lot of blitzes. He went over in pretty much every home game, except the last one. Memphis was sending a lot of help. Bro, he actually has not been going over this line that much in the playoffs. I'm surprised they're putting this one up. He's 10 for 16 on the under. I'm okay with that. That's a high line for him.
Which one? What line am I talking about?
Lou Dort, 9.5 points.
He's not going to be getting those open looks that he's used to getting the entire playoffs.
Let me say this. What would you put the chances are that he gets under 2.5 threes?
Pretty high.
He's 10 for 12 for under 9.5 points when he doesn't hit 2 threes, and he's minus 200 juice under 2.5 threes. So unless you think he's getting 10 points in a different way, that's pretty solid.
It's going to have to come from threes.
Which we Pacers don't want to give up. So
Yeah.
I like that under 9.5. What's his... With the pace, would you rather have PRA at 14.5, or would you rather have the points by itself?
I'd rather have the points by itself.
Okay. The reason I ask is because both the games he did go over on points at 10 and 12 points with 2 or less threes made. He went under PRA. He had 1 rebound and then 3 RA in the other one. So, hold on.
This is so. I wish we had a sample to go off of, bro. Like where everyone played.
I know, but
game 1 is going to be the sample, unfortunately.
Yeah, bro. And even then, they're gonna make adjustments. It's gonna be the second half of game one is gonna tell us the most about game two.
I
Yeah.
think Mathurin could see steady minutes starting game one of these matchups. The issue with Mathurin in this matchup is
There's no issue.
no, there is because we talk about Mathurin. I'm a big Mathurin guy, trust me. But we talk about Mathurin dominating when Halliburton is getting swarmed and they need somebody else to apply rim pressure and just get the ball in their hands and they go make a move. Mathurin's not exactly a shooter. Like he has his moments, but he's not a shooter. He wants to get downhill, get fouled, get to the rim.
OKC's gonna pack the paint.
OKC's gonna swarm the fuck out of him every time he drives. Because it's not like he has like the greatest vision either. Like if he puts his head down and goes, it's him in the basket. There's no other teammates, and that's
And
a
the
good thing
Pacers do not
sometimes.
like him trying to create off the dribble because he turns the ball over too much when he tries to do that.
And you can't
That's
do
why
that.
he got benched early in the series.
Like as much as I'm like, oh, I don't know why Ben Shepherd's taking minutes from Benedict Mathurin. With them forcing it to open corner shooters, and this one it might make sense. It really might. And it pains me to say that because I'd much rather see Benedict Mathurin playing basketball than Ben Shepherd. But in this matchup, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, the OKC, Benedict Mathurin, I feel like he did good last year because he got to get in the game and do what he wanted to do. OKC is not a team that you get in and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Also, for anybody who told the Dinger projections, Mike Trout Dinger, he was the top of the
He
projections.
went.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Of course he went. He was top of the projections. All right. What else? So Lou Dort unders, I'm a fan of. Any unders. I think points is probably our favorite. That's our best way. You don't have to worry about RA with the pace of the game, but yeah, I'm good with that. Who else? What do we let's go player by player. Let's talk about what we think matchup wise, and if we need to break down any film we can. Aaron Nesmith, we've talked about if they're gonna leave shooters open, Aaron Nesmith fits the bill. That's probably who the low man's gonna help off of. Pascal Siakam, he's not getting the Chet matchup if Chet's gonna get Nesmith. So does Siakam then get Hardenstein? Well, no, Hardenstein would be on Turner. Siakam gets J-Dub. That's a good defender. That's going to be a trouble for him.
That
Miles
post-up
Turner can
game's
hit
gonna
his
have to be on
shots. Miles
point.
Turner has a role in this series.
But it's not gonna be from the pick and pop.
No, it'll be from weak side shooting.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I feel like the Pacers have been leading more and more into. They've been doing more guard-to-guard screens and having Turner as that next pass over, kind of daring the weak side or daring the center to help weak side or not. So if he's hitting his threes, he has a factor. If not, it's going to be tough for him. Nemhard is going to be guarding SGA. Probably. Do we think that takes him out of rebounding position, or do we think that puts him closer at the basket on the Shea driving kicks? I think it could go either way.
I don't know.
Say that again.
I don't know how much Nemhart's gonna force SGA to kick.
Fair.
I like SGA to shoot over him. And I remember playing like the Jaden Daniels last year for that same reason. And
You're thinking like a lot of free throw line jumpers.
Yeah.
Okay, so limited rebounding chances for Nemhard. He's another one that I think could be big in the weak side shooting. Because, like, we know he can shoot the three. He doesn't do it in the pull-up sense. So if Dort's going to be on Hallie's ass and Siakam is going to be having trouble himself.
I think OKC lives with Nesmith shooting threes. So I do like that look. Like he's got a 3-point. He got a 5 3-point attempt line.
With Nesmith or Nemhard?
Nesmith.
Oh, I agree. For Nesmith, the question for me is if he's healthy and playing 30-plus minutes, his lines are going to be air. If his ankle's still bothering him and he's uncomfortable and he's only getting 22 minutes again like he was in the Knicks games after he got hurt, then that's trouble.
And I like Siakam already the more we talk about it because I was liking the assists. And I feel like he'll be in some good rebound position too because he's not guarding SGA. He should be guarding probably Chet. I would assume.
Nemhard had 13 shots in this game. And I can't see the video of any of them. Are you serious? What is this? Okay, now I can. So his main matchup was Case and Wallace, who obviously wouldn't start in this one, but we can watch what we can. This isn't blurry for you guys, by the way. I know it was blurry when JJ was sharing earlier, but he was saying it was fine on his screen. So here he is, one pass away. Miles Turner slips a pick and roll. J-Dub follows him. Give it to Nemhard. Nemhard, step back. What are we doing? Oh, end of shot clock. I was about to say, that is not your shot. Yep, transition. Sounds about right. Layup. Good move. Unlucky. I mean, they're not afraid of going at Case, and it looks like. That was atrocious. Yeah. I think Nemhard doesn't look uncomfortable by Case and Wallace by any means.
What do you think his pull-up shooting will look like in this series?
I think it'll be a lot more floaters trying to beat the swarm than it will pull-up shooting, if that makes sense.
Because so far in the playoffs, about 50% of his shots have been pull-ups.
Yeah, but that's also because of how defense have been playing him. I don't think the Pacers need to do the same thing with Dort on him. Like, realistically,
You mean with Dort on Halliburton?
Yeah, like, realistically, the Pacers haven't faced a true shutdown defender yet. Like, Mikal Bridges is not holding guys to 10 points consistently. I mean, not, but, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna live with Dort chasing over screens on him. Where I wanted. Oh, these are
most of his shots in the regular season series pull-ups.
We already saw this one. Jump shot 3. We saw this one as well. Come on, next video. There we go. It's going to be an offensive rebound kick out, it looks like. Great pass. Holy shit. Halliburton pick and roll. Nemhard in the strong side corner. Hit the roll. Yep, that's going to be something you see with the OKC defense a lot against any team.
Yep.
Double on this in the non-Isaiah Hartenstein minutes. Double the screener. One of the corners picks the roller, leaves the corner open. That's why they allow so many corner looks. Those are all 4 3-point attempts for him. I wish we could see the shots. I don't know why they suddenly don't have videos if you want to look at all of them like that.
Let me see.
If I go through and look at the player matchups, they'll all show up. These are the two against Shea. The transition. What do we have here? Backdoor cut on SGA. You might be right. He might be too active for SGA.
Yeah, I don't think they put him on him. I'm really liking SGA rebound. I like Pascal too. I like both of them.
This is Lou Dort.
Go to Shot Creator. They'll show all of them in sequence. Actually, I got the link.
I already got it up. Don't you worry. What day is this game again?
The 29th of March.
Wonderful.
And then switch to both.
Yep. All right, so pick and roll, gets the switch onto Hartenstein, goes to work. Step back midi. That's the other thing. That mid-range game is a very big way to beat the Thunder. Because again, we talk about them wanting to swarm the ball. It's hard for them to swarm when you can read that this swarm is coming and step back out of it into an open shot. Switch on to Hartenstein. See, like, that's another great example. Most players, they're stepping in here. Jalen Williams is here. Shea is coming from the backside. This player, like, if this player's anticipating it, obviously he can make a play on the mid-range, but they're never really expecting a player to do that. So I do like Nembhard in this series.
Me too.
Corner 3.
I think this is the game I took his assist. I don't remember how many assists he had.
I can check in a second.
I don't know how much it matters at all, but like I said, I think Nemhart, Dort, and SGA play Canadian ball together. So, you know, he might be familiar with them and not scared to, you know what I'm saying? Like, even if Dort is a good defender.
He's had 7 assists in both games.
Damn.
Who, Nemhart?
Yeah. I remember I did take his assist. He had
Do you remember
18
why, or
potential
should we go
assists in
back
that
and watch?
game. They're going to be doubling what's his
Ali?
face? Ali, yeah. Just the on-ball pressure. So they're going to use Nemhard more.
Do we think they do that even with Chet as the low man?
That's the part I don't know.
I feel like they will. I feel like they'll use Chet as the low man to pick up the roller.
And I mean, we can check his assists on here too. Since we're
Yeah,
here.
well, I just wanted to watch all these through first.
Yeah.
Backdoor cut.
That's a great cut.
That's a great action, actually. Because Jarius Walker clears out. Or no, he doesn't clear out. He just comes up. Thomas Bryant sort of seals this off. That's a great.
Yeah, he sealed him off. That was beautiful.
And then last shot. Takes Casey Wallace on the dribble. You're like, yeah, he looks comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is back to 329.
Bro, it was a year ago that Gordon Hayward was starting for the Thunder.
All right, here's all the Nemhard assists. All 7 of them. So where's Hallie in this one? Hallie's just coming to the corner. They have to communicate that Siakam's open. Okay. So they're in zone here. So because, yeah, once you're in zone and you don't have to worry about Dort, they're fine getting it to Hallie. Driving kick to Jarius Walker. That's 3 assists first half already. Was that 3 or 4? That was 3. Then third quarter. Did he not play the second quarter? I haven't seen a shot or an assist from him in the second quarter now. Where's the right game? None of them are the right game.
Ooh.
What?
Yeah, 6 steals. Damn.
And Nemhart in the 3 game ones this season, he has 4, 6, and 5 assists.
Let's go back to this.
6,
Sorry.
5.
Drive and dish. See, that's the assist I don't think happens with Chet's in the game. But that so far, that's really the only one. That's an interesting action. I don't know why they switched this. Actually, that's not as interesting as I thought it was. Also, I've started to, the more I think through it, I think Turner does have a role in the series because I think we expected him to last series, and he didn't. And I think for a lot of the reasons we thought he was going to be a bigger factor, it ended up just being Siakam. Like, they used Siakam in a lot of the ways that I thought they were going to use Turner to attack mismatches. which I don't think they're going to have the luxury of in this one. So I think he should have a bigger factor in this one. All right, so do we still like Nemhard overs for assists? I honestly like his points too, so I think you could go PA.
Yeah.
Siakam unders, Hallie unders. Actually, I don't know if I want to take Siakam unders just yet. I kind of want to see what they do first. Hallie unders, Neesmith overs on the OKC side. I don't want to say Hardenstein unders because I think the value on that is gone. I think they've kind of priced it.
Like
Lou Dort
Dort under.
unders. What else? Is there anything else you like on the OKC side? I know Prop Plug likes his over 5.5 RA or 5.5 rebounds for Shea.
I think Shea's points line's too high to take over, but the volume should be there.
Do you think
Outside of that,
is there though?
huh?
The first quarter points, do you think it's there even though he went under in both regular season matchups?
I think it's there.
Matherin, I kind of want to stay away from his lines.
Outside of that, I don't really see any other players that target game one.
Kenrick Williams has a lineup on BetMGM now if you wanted to play him.
I just think he's there for defense.
Yeah, it's fair.
If he's scoring, it's going to be during blowout minutes.
This is fair. Anything else? I don't think so. Yep, I think that about covers it. Yeah, I think that covers it. Do we want to look at some series props?
If there's anything available that we like.
I want to see what the 5.5 games line is. I really do. NBA Finals. Is there no series? No, I don't want NBA Finals game one. I want NBA Finals. Series leaders. Points that's an easy one. Total made threes. Hallie's plus 125. Neesmith is plus 390.
Alex just said Nemhard PA just went up.
Of course it did. Am I crazy for liking Neesmith plus 390 for threes? Most threes in the series.
Not at all. The corner threes are going to be there, and he loves that shot.
The options are here. Let me put it on the screen. Halliburton's plus 125, Neesmith plus 390, Lou Dort plus 500, Shea plus 850, Miles Turner plus 900, Jalen Williams plus 1,000. I honestly think Neesmith is in a great spot here, so I'll put that in the slip just for now. Most total assists, that's going to be Tyrese. I don't even want to bet that. Most rebounds. That's kind of low for Chet. Minus 130. If Hardenstein's going to get played off, I don't really see anybody on the Pacers being that big of a threat.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Because the Pacers kind of rebound as a team.
Yeah. Series specials. No. Over 5.5 is plus 120, guys. I don't know. I like it.
It does look enticing.
I told myself as long as it was plus money, I think I'll take it. And I think a lot of people are going to hate it.
They are.
But I really like that one. Let's put it this way. So what's the odds for them to win the game? It's plus 330 right now. So we'll call it 20% chance to win each game based off the sportsbook odds, right?
Nope. Alex said Chet Boards is minus 185 on DK.
Hold on 1 second. What were you saying?
Chet Boards to lead the series, minus 185 on DK.
That doesn't surprise me. So obviously I need to put in a better prompt to get an exact number, but let's see. If a team would have 20% chance to win each game. Hold on, I fucking did I do it right? Yeah. Hold on, there might not be as much value in this as we thought. I think I put the prompt in for this wrong, so hold on. Player to make game-winning field goal as time expires during the series. I mean, shit, at this point, Halliburton's fucking free, so.
Yeah. He's good for one every game, right? Or every series.
If there's a prop for player most likely to get 15 points in a 3-minute span, you can go ahead and lock Neesmith in for that one too. We got prop got in here. How we doing? Get up on the stage. Talk some ball with us. We're looking at some series bets right now. I think we got an idea of what we like for players, but if you got anything yourself that we can talk about, I'm happy to do it. Let me just do this. I'm going to put in this prompt correctly so we can get a proper answer. Anything else you're liking for the series, JJ?
Looking through it right now. The Halliburton over under 17.5 per game points.
And it's low. It's a little too low. But I see the vision.
Siakam's at 19.5. J-Dub's at 22.5. Shay's at 33.5. What's Shay's assist this game? 6.5.
6.5 juiced over. Shea to score 25 in every game might be air.
I don't even think. Is that available?
Sid just put that in the chat. He said it's minus 115.
It's minus 115? Oh, yeah.
That's in the bet slip. Thank you very much.
I didn't think that was even going to be available, especially minus 115.
Neesmith lead series threes. Chet lead series rebounds. I asked ChatGPT, I said if the Pacers are plus 300 every game, obviously give or take, what is the chance that the series goes at least 6 games? They said plus 450 is the fair price for that. Well, let me see how they calculated it to make sure that they're not on some fuckery. What does the Celtics have to do with this? Why is it mentioning the Celtics? I'm putting a new prompt in. I already know something went wrong there. Let's try Perplexity too, because I still don't trust ChatGPT. People are saying it's not. Alex is saying it's not on DK.
What is it on? It's on
I don't know. I feel
FanDuel.
like that series is usually on DK. Let me check. Oh, he said it's on FanDuel. Oh, so it must be under series specials. Oh, yeah. That's fire. Oh, we got way more props than I thought that we can look at. Oh, we got some stuff we got to work on then. We got some stuff to talk about. All right, Perplexity looks like their math is much more realistic. They're saying the odds should be plus 180 for the Pacers to take a 6+, assuming they're plus 300 every game. They're plus 330 in game 1. I'm just going off the assumption that's what it is game 2, and it'll be like plus 270 in games 3 and 4. Obviously, it's not perfect way to look at it, but we're ballparking here. So if we find any site, series total games, we can do that. FanDuel actually has the best odds at plus 120. So maybe I can go series spread. Dude, the Pacers are plus 120 at plus 2.5. So hold on, it would still have to go 6 games, no? Am I looking at that right? Pacers plus 2.5.
Think so.
So anybody who likes the over 5.5, go ahead and just go and take the Pacers plus 2.5. That doesn't make any sense for those to be the same odds, right? No, I have it the other way around. Go ahead and take the over 5.5. Because if the Pacers somehow win it in 4 or 5, I'm confusing myself. It's too. We need to do these streams earlier. My brain's already fried. Yeah, take Pacers plus 2.5. I had it right the first time. Thanks, Sid. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's plus 2.5 on DK. Can I get a 3.5 line? I don't think they'll let me have that, but
I wish they had a Nemhard special.
Pacers plus 3.5 is minus 385. Fuck it, never mind. You wish they had a what?
I wish they had a Nemhard player series special.
What do you want for Nemhard?
I don't know, because I just seen they had Miles Turner to score 10 plus in every game. So I was like, why can't they just have a Nemhard something, you know?
Let's see. They don't have points per game, anything. Highest scoring performance? Oh, that's Shea's minus 475. That looks about right. Oh, Neesmith is plus 425 on DraftKings. Nice. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't have anything for Nemhard. You're right. For Pacers plus 2.5 with this information. DK has that prop, Nemhard 20 points each game. What the fuck? No, I'm not betting that. You hit that, JJ?
Say that again?
You can bet on Nemhard 20 points each game.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Plus 280. Hold on. That's horrible odds. That's terrible. Where do you even see that? I don't see that. Ten plus points every game is plus 500 on DK. Where are you guys finding this? What tab?
Yeah, it must be a different tab. I'm not.
I don't see this anywhere. Oh, wait. No, that's
Final specials.
God, there's too many tabs.
Yeah.
DraftKings did not think this through. I don't see final specials anywhere. Am I tripping? NBA Finals. No, this is game 1.
Okay, so you know where the tabs you see like games, NBA Finals, series leaders.
Yeah.
Go to series specials. It looks like, and then scroll down a little bit. Maybe.
All right, hold on. Let me open DraftKings here. Maybe you guys can help me there. So where do you say I should go?
Well, shit, Alex should be able to find it. Series markets, and then final specials.
Series markets, final specials. Okay.
There we go.
So what we want Nemhard 10 plus each game?
Record
4
4
assists
plus
in each game
assists.
is plus 425.
That's interesting.
Plus 500 for 10 points. That's not fun. That's not bad. OKC undefeated at home, plus 105. Haven't the Pacers won the first 2 games on the road in the last 3 series? They're the home killers, dude. But no, plus 105 for the Thunder is probably worth it. I'm just trolling. What do you like more, the 4 assists or the 10 points?
That's what I'm figuring out right now.
For context, he's minus 135 for under 4.5 assists for game 1. He's minus 120 for over 10.5 for game 1.
Because they're probably gonna dare him to shoot. You take away. It's both look good.
They do both look real good.
He's 11 out of 16 over for assists this playoffs. And I think it was 10 out of 16 for points.
I feel like I kind of want to say points just because I could see
I think he's going to have double-digit volume.
Yeah, and I can see the Pacers having a couple shitters as a team that hurts his assists.
Yeah.
I want to go look through all of these, though.
There's a lot.
Miles Turner 1-3 in each game is plus 120. What? Has his volume been that low? No, bro. He's done that in every game in the playoffs except one. He's going to get a corner look each game. You're telling me 1-3?
And he's money from the corner, too.
And it's, bro, plus 120? I don't want that. Alex Caruso, 1-3 in each game, plus 220. Ooh, let's check. He's done that in all but 2 games since the first game of the season. The 2 games he didn't do it, the game 2 blowout versus Denver and the last blowout versus Minnesota. It's not a bad one either. Let's see. I feel like there's another one in here. I wish I could bet against. Well, actually, I wouldn't bet against Shea to score 45 in a game. But I think you'd be surprised how often he gets like 40 and doesn't get 50.
Yeah.
Neesmith 5 threes in a game is plus 270. That's funny. I will say, no, actually, I guess it makes sense. I was going to say, I don't know why Hallie's more likely to get a triple-double than Shea, when Shea's more likely to get rebounds, but it's because of the assists. Yeah, I think those are the ones I'd like the most. I kind of know. I was going to say I kind of want to bet on the exact score of OKC to win 4-2. Buzzer beaters. Will there be a buzzer beater in the series? Yes or no? Plus 2,000. JJ, what do we think?
A buzzer beater. I don't know. I think we'll see a go-ahead game winner, but buzzer beater?
Overtime game. Yes or no? I kind of don't think. I don't think
Nah.
it's going to happen. Either team. Ooh. Either team to come back and win a game from a 20-point deficit is plus 425. That's a very interesting one. The Pacers, they've done it in every series, no?
I think so.
So then the question becomes the Thunder. They're just both so high paced, and they both want to run. That I could easily see it happening. Let's go back to FanDuel, see what other gems we can find. These are very specific. Player to make game-winning field goal as time expires. I kind of want to bet on like a fucking nobody, just for the sake of like what if? Like Nemhard's plus 43,000. Chet's plus 34,000. Neesmith plus 28,000. Jesus. Number of games to reach overtime. We talked about that. Shea points per game in the finals over under 33.5. Talked about some of these a little bit. Anything else worth talking about?
I don't think so.
So Shea, 25 each game. Neesmith, most threes. That one's better on DraftKings. Chet, most rebounds. Then we got Aaron Neesmith, most threes. Nemhard, 10 points each game. Miles Turner, 1-3 each game. Caruso, 1-3 each game. And a team to come back from a 20-point deficit at any point in this series. Any of those that we want to take off?
Nah.
Does the Caruso one scare you, knowing the Pacers' defense, or are you fine with it?
Maybe scare me just a tad, but he's been a good shooter is the problem. I mean, if I had to take one off out of all those, it probably would be Caruso.
We don't have to take anybody off.
Yeah.
It's plus 220 for what it's worth. Shit, I'm fine to lock it, honestly. We'll do. Let's start with this. How many units do we want to put on each one of these if we are betting on each one? For Chet, I'm fine putting a full unit. For Shea, I'm fine putting a full unit.
Yeah.
Neesmith, quarter unit max. Even then, I think I'd go quarter unit to win a unit.
Yeah.
Nemhard, 10 plus in each finals game. 10th of a unit.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably, I mean, it's plus 500, so it makes sense. But that's probably the most volatile one where we're really calling our shot there. Unless, do you want to go more than a 10th of a unit? Be honest.
No, I think that's fine. You know, I'm the more conservative one, so.
Miles Turner to get a 3 in each game.
I was thinking at least 0.5, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking we go 0.75 there, 0.5 on Caruso.
Yeah.
And 20-point deficit, I think that's a 0.25er. We good with that? All that?
Yeah.
That put our total risk at 0.5, 1, 1.75, 1.1. We'd be at like 3 units, a little bit over 3 units total risk for the series props, which I'm fine with. All right, I'll go lock those in then. And then I'll have a couple that I lock in for game 1. I'll send those out to the cord, probably get those posted tomorrow on Twitter. Are you doing Pacers plus 2.5? Maybe. Let's see. What did the math come out to?
I thought I remember you saying that wasn't the value that we wanted based off the
Yeah.
math.
So if we're hypothetically putting the odds at plus 300 for each game, then the odds should be plus 163. So that was using the sportsbooks line. So let's reframe it like this. Let's finish that conversation because we didn't. What do we think the odds should be for the Pacers to win an individual game in the series, assuming neutral court, not home court away?
Neutral, I'd probably say plus 150.
I can tell you right now there will definitely be value if we think that should be what the line is.
Like, if we're thinking like straight up just neutral, I feel like that's fair, right?
So yeah, fair odds for this should be plus 108 if we had him at plus 150 each game. So yeah, I think we can go at plus 120 for plus 2.5. I think we can play it. What do we say? Half a unit on that?
Yeah.
Let's do this. I can actually calculate this for us.
And what the fuck is this Madden 26 cover?
Oh God.
Did you see that?
I have not seen it, no.
Have y'all seen that in the chat? Who was this random ass person Saquon is jumping over?
Oh, I did see that. I did see that.
It's just a black helmet. No numbers on the shoulder pads. Like, they just create this with AI.
Let's do this, JJ. We're gonna do this right. Use Kelly criterion. We're gonna put a percentage chance on each one to hit and figure out how much we should put on it instead of we're kind of winging it. Let's be honest.
That's what we do around here. So we're usually more prepared, but it's like this was definitely.
Yeah, we're 4 days before the playoffs. If this was the morning of and we were like this, then yeah, there'd be a problem. But I don't think that's the case. So they're saying it should be 0.6 units on Pacers plus 2.5, assuming 1/8 Kelly. For Aaron Nesmith to lead the series in threes, what are the odds we'd realistically put that at?
I think right where it's at.
Well, then why would we bet it?
I'm thinking the other way around. You thinking percentage wise?
Yeah. Or if you were the lines maker, what would you set it at?
I probably set it at like plus 290.
All right, so in that case, we'll put it, that's 0.9 units.
Because who else is going to?
Hallie's the only one that we're expecting to beat him. Yeah. I'll say this. If we knew for sure he was fully healthy, I think I'd put it at plus 290. With that injury, it almost makes me want to move to like plus 320, plus 330.
Yeah, that's a fair range.
So at plus 320, that puts it 23.8%. 0.75 units. All right. Nemhard to score 10 plus in each game. I'm going to assume, what are we saying, 60% chance each game, knowing his line is currently 10.5?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd say 60 to 65% chance.
So if we do 65, let me flip my calculator so I can fucking do this right. Oh, never mind. No, it doesn't want to work like that. We're using fucking Google. Because I don't want to screw up these calculations out using my brain. Let's say it goes to 6 games. Then 65% chance. 0.65 to the power 6 is 7.5%. And we're getting plus 500. Maybe it's a good thing we checked this because I don't think that's when we should be betting on at 7.5%. I guess the question becomes is if it goes less than 5 or less than 6 games, then it becomes a lot more likely.
Yeah.
Then we're talking about like if it's done in 4, then we need 18% chance. But then at that number, if they're getting swept 4-0, you got to think he has a stinker in there. So maybe we leave that one off. Miles Turner recorded 3 in each NBA game. Now this one, actually, I guess we could have done this with Nembhard too. What's Nembhard's alt line for 10 plus? It's minus 162. Let's call it minus 180 since we're more confident. That would have put us at, about 64% chance. We're good with that. Let's check Miles Turner to hit 1-3. Minus 587 is the average odds. So that would put us at 85% chance every game. And I think considering this is away, if we consider the home games, we can call it 87.5%. 0.875 to the power 6 is 45% chance. At plus 120. That puts us slightly below, but then again, we have the upside of 5 or 4 games. Let's do quarter unit. Let's do half unit. And then we can do the same thing with Caruso. Caruso to hit a 3 is minus 385. Puts that at an 80% chance. We'll call it 82.5. Or do 85 with the ups. No, we'll do 82.5. Because he's already at home. At 220. That puts that at a 31% chance. That one's not great either. We need that to go. Well, again, we need it to go less games. I'm fine doing quarter, on that. And then 20-point deficit. That's the last one for the DraftKings one. Let's start with this. If OKC goes down 20 and we're halfway through the third quarter, what are you putting as the chances they come back? What's the live line for you?
I have zero clue. But
What would the line have to
them
be for you to bet it? You're looking at your screen. You're like, I want this. If it's higher than this, I don't want it.
I mean, for 20 plus, it had to be something fucking ridiculous, right?
Maybe. I'd probably say plus 750.
What is it
Understanding
typically for a team to come back from plus play? What are the odds typically?
I don't know off the top of my head, honestly.
Because I never look at something like that.
Honestly, I don't know.
And that's my problem with giving you an answer here. I have no idea.
Because most of the times I'm checking it is because it's like the Cavs versus the Hornets or some shit. I'm not really checking if the Thunder are down 20 to the Celtics.
Yeah.
Let's leave this one off. Let's be responsible a little bit. All right, Shea to score 25 in each game.
Or I feel like it's just a unit.
Oh, hold on. I need to go to points. Well, no, we need to see. We're trying to calculate the shit. 24. So he's minus 873 for an average all line of 25 plus. We think it's obviously more likely they scores 25 than Books. Otherwise, we wouldn't think to take this. Let's call it minus 900. So let's see. 0.9 to the power 5. Let's do that. 59%. Okay, we're talking. I honestly, we might have to put more than a unit, honestly. Kelly's saying 1.5 units.
He's missed this line only 3 times in the playoffs.
I can get behind this for 1.5 units. I guess we run the risk of blowout, but even then, he plays the full third quarter, so I don't really care. If he goes 6 games, it takes us down to 53%.
And 20-point wins or losses over in 24-27.
Yeah, sounds about right. Let's go a unit because it's looking like if we can say for sure they're going 6 or more games, the value kind of is gone. But with the upside of going just 4 or 5, it's pretty strong. So we'll call it a unit. And then what was the last one that we had for FanDuel?
I don't remember.
Chet, 8 rebounds.
Chet, oh, yeah.
Or Chet to lead the series in rebounds. Sorry. Oh, that's a tougher one. Because we can't just look up his all line. I have an idea. Give me 2 seconds. Because Bet365, maybe every book has the odds for games leading rebounder, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just go check that. And it should be more or less the same. Most rebounds in the next game. Chet's plus 110. So that's the variance of one game if you put it over multiple games. Let's do Shea to win 1 unit and Chet 1 unit solid.
I like it.
All right. So let me write all this down, take a screenshot, and then put it on the screen for you guys. 1.15 units. What did we decide for Neesmith? 0.75 units. This is 425. Whoa. What happened? It's already 817. Damn. Then we got the 0.5 unit Miles Turner 1 plus 3-pointer made every game. Plus 120. 0.25 units. Alex Caruso 1 plus 3-pointers made every game. Plus 220. And Pacers plus 2.5 games is also plus 120. God, futures are so much more fun to sweat out than game props, though, I won't lie. When we did those first round, Those were the best. All right, where's play or where's yep, here we go. All right, here it is, guys. Enjoy. Take screenshots. A lot of plus signs in there. We love to see it. So we got a total of how much risked? Risked 1 unit between Caruso and Neesmith. 1.1 units between those three, so that's 2.1. We're at 3.25 total units risks on future in the NBA Finals. And then individual props, nothing locked yet, but like Nemhard, points and assists both separately and together. We like Shea first quarter. I think his line is low. Prop plug like Shea rebounds. Lou Dort under 9.5 points. I like that. Am I forgetting anything?
I think that's it.
Neesmith, I want to see his ankle a little bit, but he should have a good game. Oh, and Siakam RA. Those are the ones, and then I'll post which ones I end up locking in officially. Other than that, good stream, right? Done with everything?
I feel like it's very productive. Kind of gone through every little player.
Yep. And then for the next few days, obviously there's no games for Tuesday, Wednesday. 2 more days before there's a game on Thursday. We're going to try and get creative. I know one thing we're going to try and do is we're going to have one space either tomorrow or Wednesday. We just talk ball. It can be finals related. It doesn't have to be finals related. We're just talking basketball to fill in the free time. And then if you guys have any other suggestions for what we can do on the other 2 days, just say the word. But we definitely want to try and keep going live when we can. Obviously, in the future, it'll be earlier. Unfortunately, I had to go get my hand x-rayed today, so that was a big delay. But don't have to do that anymore. You only got to do that once, luckily. But yep, JJ, good talking with you, dog. Everybody,
As
good to see
always.
you in the chat. And we'll talk with you guys soon. Take care, everybody.